My name's Carmen. My my brother's an addict. My brother was an addict. And this morning sorry, I forgot. Before I came to Al-Anon, I was a cook. I mean, I still am a cook. I'm just a different kind of cook, I guess. My brother and I, we would cook a lot together, especially when we were kids. You know, that's when we were closest. Food was always our common ground. We wanted to open a restaurant together. We had a name, we had a vibe, all of it. My brother, he could make you feel confident about yourself. You know, like when I was a kid, I was nervous, I was scared, I wouldn't want to do something. He'd always tell me just to face it, you know, get it over with. He'd always say, stupid, he'd always say, let it rip. He was loud and he was hilarious and he had this amazing ability. He could walk into a room and take the temperature of it instantly. You know, he could dial it. And I'm not built like that, man. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I had a stutter when I was a kid and I was too scared to speak half of the time. And I got shitty grades because I couldn't pay attention in school. I didn't get into college. I didn't have any girlfriends. I don't think I'm funny. I always thought my brother was my best friend. You know, like we just knew everything about each other. Except everybody thought that he was their best friend. He was just that magnetic. And I didn't know my brother was using drugs. What does that say? As we got older, I realized I didn't know anything about him, really. He stopped letting me into the restaurant a couple of years ago. He just cut me off cold, and that hurt, you know? And I think that flipped a switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this. And because we had this connection through food and he had made me feel so rejected and lame and shitty and uncool, I made this plan where I was going to work in all of the best restaurants in the world. Like, I'm gonna work in real kitchens, you know? Like, fuck mom and dad's piece of shit, right? And it sounds ridiculous, me saying that now, but that's what I did. And I got the shit kicked out of me. And I separated herbs, and I shucked oysters and clams and uni, and I cut myself, and I got calluses on my fingers from the knives, and I got garlic and pepper and onions in my fingernails and in my eyes, and my skin was dry and oily at the same time, and my stomach was fucked, and it was everything. And a couple of years later, this funny thing happened, which is like, for the first time in my life, I started to find this station for myself. And I was fast, and I wasn't afraid. And it was so clear, and I felt okay. You know, I knew which vegetables went together, proteins, temperature, sauces, all that shit. And anytime somebody new came into the restaurant, I'd look at them like they were competition, like I'm gonna smoke this motherfucker. I felt like I could speak through food, like I could communicate through creativity. And that kind of confidence, you know, I was good at something that was so new and so exciting, and I just wanted him to know that, and fuck, I just wanted him to be like, good job. And the more he would respond and the more our relationship kind of strained, the deeper into this I went and the better I got. And the more people I cut out, the quieter my life got. And the routine of the kitchen was so consistent and exacting and busy and hard and alive. And I lost track of time and he died. He left me his restaurant. And over the last couple months, I've been trying to fix it because it was in rough shape. And I think it's clear that me trying to fix it was me trying to fix whatever was happening with my brother. And maybe, I don't know, fix the whole family. Because that restaurant, it has and it does mean a lot to people. It means a lot to me. I just don't know if it ever meant anything to him.